Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today on this interesting topic of understanding who NIC is, what NIC does, where is NIC, and why NIC is important. As always, my name is Apron and welcome to the second Guide to Networking video. Now, NIC stands for Network Interface Card or Controller. I'm going to be calling it a card for this particular video. Now, if we break down the three words, we can already understand the basics of what a NIC might do. Network could mean some sort of interaction with the network. Interface could mean some sort of controlling as possible with this device. Card might represent the shape of the NIC. And the actual definition of a NIC is a physical connection between the networking medium and the computer's internal bus. Networking medium meaning a device like a router, modem, switch, or hub. And a computer's internal bus, meaning the wires transferring data in the motherboard. Now here's a picture of a common NIC you might find on your computer. There are other types, but this is the general design adopted by almost all network interface cards. Understanding what each part on a NIC does is not necessary, so I'm not going to be talking about this in this video. There are only two sections of a NIC to observe when installing and understanding this device. A part that might look familiar already and is the only part you can see when a computer case is on is where you plug an Ethernet cord into. You can call it an Ethernet port, but the official term is an 8-pin RJ45 port. The Ethernet cord's official term is an 8-pin RJ45 connector. These are a standard for most Ethernet cords and ports. The second section to be aware of is the golden strips sticking out from the bottom portion of the card. Those golden strips connect the NIC to the motherboard depending on the number and separation of those strips. Now this is what a motherboard looks like. Not exactly, but they don't look drastically different from each other. On this particular motherboard there are 3 PCI X1 slots, which can fit certain types of NICs, but not the one shown in the previous picture. There is one PCI X16 slot, and in this case it does not fit the NIC shown before either. The most popular NIC shown in the previous picture fits the PCI slot, and in this motherboard they provide 2 of them. They are not hard to install at all, and it is very difficult to place a NIC in the wrong position. Now what does a NIC do then? Well, a NIC is responsible for facilitating an access method to the network layer of the OSI model, particularly layer 1 and layer 2. Now, if you don't know what an OSI model is, here's a picture of how they are demonstrated. Don't worry about understanding it now. I will make videos on it later, but if you really want to know, Wikipedia does a really good job of explaining it. Now, a NIC being a physical, touchable part, it is automatically in the first layer. It also controls the data being sent and gathered, so it is a part of the second layer. Understand that there are many types of NICs, some which you will never touch, but knowing the 2 popular types of NICs implemented in today's world is important. The standard in most personal computers, maybe business environments which don't require special needs, are called fast Ethernet NICs. There are also a cable labeled as fast Ethernet. You don't need a fast Ethernet cable to run a fast Ethernet NIC. The fast Ethernet NIC automatically detects what Ethernet cable type you have and adjusts to that speed. Now, the full duplex networking, on the other hand, is a popular special case implemented in NICs that offer a dedicated connection to hopefully double the speed. You now know the extent of information about NICs in a networking job or hobby. I hope you now understand what a NIC is, and if you didn't, well, there are plenty of information-dense articles on NICs. Anyways, have a wonderful day, guys, and hopefully I will see you in another video.